Marshmallow and I raced through the air. The wind rushed past my ears so loud I could barely hear myself think. We had to get those eggs. Give the eggs back, Zane. They belong to the Academy.
The Academy will never have these eggs! Leona, release!
My name is Tori, and I'm a researcher. For as long as I can remember, people have been underestimating me. They don't mean it bad, but I still gotta set them straight now and then. What's my research focus, you ask? Only the most incredible, magical, ancient wonders of the bustling city of Shadowdale! Dragons! Our dragons protected us from the rest of the war-torn country. Because of them, we lived in a utopia, and the people who commanded them, they were known as Dragon Riders. Like my boyfriend Bennett. To become a Dragon Rider and get into the Academy, it was essential that candidates found a dragon egg at a trial held at Mount Flame. I researched dragons, and he rode them. Technically, Bennett was still a cadet of the Dragon Rider Academy, but he had already got his mount, so in my humble opinion, it counted.
At ease, Red. Tor, you got the book?
One copy of The History of Dragon Mating and Egg Cycles coming up.
You are amazing. Hey, you should be in the shade.
I hate when you do that.
Missed you.
Missed you too.
Stuff at the Academy is off. The egg hunt trial is tomorrow, but we only have 7 dragon eggs this year, and one is tiny.
Wait, you can only accept 7 new riders?
Pretty much. I'm positive someone is sabotaging the dragon eggs, and I know who. Zane.
Zane? Well, then the Academy should stop him.
He's the head cadet of my year. I need proof before I accuse him, so that's why I'm trying to learn about this egg stuff.
I can help. I am an expert after all.
Don't worry, Tor. I'll handle the dangerous stuff.
I wanted to argue with him, but just then, the famous Academy horn blasted.
Gotta go. We're hiding the eggs tonight.
Bennett wheeled me back to the cobblestone, and we shared a quick kiss. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what Bennett said. If Zane was sabotaging the dragon eggs, a researcher needed to be there to gather proof. But only riders could enter the Academy, so I just have to join the egg hunt trial and become the first ever dragon rider and researcher. The whole Academy was at the trial, which included Zane. I'd barely noticed him growing up. He'd always been so quiet and aloof, but I could see now that it had been pure deception.
Candidates, the egg hunt trial starts now!
Candidates raced up the volcano, but I stayed slow and steady, watching 2 fight over a purple egg and tumble down the mountain. And each time an egg was claimed, the proctor would sound the horn. I moved through the chaos while others cheered and grabbed eggs from tough spots. Just then, I spotted the final egg. Is that even a dragon egg?
It's the preemie. I'll just try again next year.
A dragon is a dragon. I was going to get that egg no matter what. Everything depended on it. Thus, even though it was challenging, I ultimately succeeded in grabbing the egg. Gotcha! I had a dragon! And I was going to see inside the Academy. I felt like my heart was going to hammer out of my chest.
Welcome, Rider Cadets! The Academy's doors are open to all with an egg!
The cadets filed through, the headmaster nodding at each egg. When he saw my tiny egg and wheelchair, he put a hand on my shoulder.
Do you know what you've gotten yourself into?
Of course I do. I'm a researcher. None of the books did it justice. The Academy was like something out of a dream. My first day was a whirlwind. It wasn't anything like the Research Academy, but I was making it work, like I always did. I didn't see Bennett until dinner, and he was not happy. Hey, let go!
What are you doing here?
Becoming a dragon rider and stopping whatever evil stuff Zane is up to. You need a researcher here.
You're going to get yourself killed.
I got my dragon egg fair and square.
Nobody else wanted it. This place isn't meant for someone like you.
We'll say the Academy is for anyone who can pass the trial. Don't you know your codex, Penny Boy?
I turned and saw Zane. He was wearing the exact same thing as Bennett, the black Academy uniform. Somehow he made it seem so rebellious.
Of course I know the codex. I live by the codex. Unlike you, Mr. Untucked Shirt.
Then you should know that if the researcher wants to get herself killed, that's her choice.
I'm trying to keep you safe.
I can handle it.
Ow!
I was upset by Bennett's display in the dining hall, but I had to focus on the next thing in front of me. The hatchery. It was in the tallest, coldest tower of the Academy, away from visitors. Leave your eggs on the stone and do not touch them. If they cannot hatch in these conditions, they will be of no use to us in the field. It seemed really harsh. My research said that, in the wild, eggs had the warmth and comfort of their mother. But maybe raising battle-ready dragons was different. Class started bright and early the next day. We had dragon control.
An obedient dragon must always bow to you before you mount and after you dismount.
Military maneuvers. Our dragons are the thin line that separates Shadowville from total chaos. History. For centuries we lived in darkness, a famine, a disease, war, death, until our ancestors found the first dragons in Mount Flame. Writer's Codex.
Never name your dragon. They are military beasts. Refer to them by color only.
To not form emotional attachments.
In combat training, for some reason, Zane took a special interest in me.
Hit it. Why are you even here? Hit it and don't suck.
I gathered all my strength and punched hard, but it wasn't enough for Zane.
I said, don't suck. Thumb out. Elbow in, twist.
Stop it! She could get hurt!
If she's unprepared to be a dragon rider, she will get us all hurt.
Why did Bennett always have to baby me? I wound up and punched the dummy just like Zane said.
100 more. Now, researcher!
I was gonna show him I meant business, so I took a deep breath and delivered a powerful uppercut. Days turned to weeks while we waited for the eggs to hatch. And in the meantime, I tried to figure out what Zane was up to. One night, I saw Zane sneak out of his dorm room, so I followed him straight to the hatchery. Later, I snuck there myself to figure out what he'd done, but I couldn't find any evidence of sabotage. Yet. A couple of months in, the eggs started hatching. All of them except mine. When I saw Zane with his black overhead, I realized something. As the biggest female, she was chosen to lay all the eggs this year and last. Maybe Zane wasn't sabotaging the eggs, but his own dragon. Did he make her lay fewer eggs? Is he the reason my dragon was a preemie? No matter what he'd done, my dragon had to hatch. Soon, the deadline for when eggs were considered too weak was coming up. I believe in you, little guy.
Hold it.
As I yelped, Zane picked up my egg and rubbed it.
The eggs need more warmth.
Like that, the Codex said the only times we were supposed to touch our dragon was when we were riding. Maybe it wouldn't make my dragon tough, but I wanted my dragon to live. I snuck to the hatchery every single night to give my egg warmth and comfort. Finally, I could feel the dragon stirring inside. You can do it, buddy!
Put it down! You aren't supposed to touch them!
Right then, the egg started to hatch. When I saw my dragon for the first time, my heart melted. He was perfect. His scales were just like his shell, pearly white with little bronze at the end, like a toasted marshmallow.
It's called white.
As little Marshmallow nuzzled into me, clearly looking for comfort, I couldn't help but think the Academy would have let him die. How was that right?
Go to bed. They'll kick you out if they find you here.
Bennett pushed my chair away, and I looked back to see Marshmallow crying out. The next morning, I woke up to total chaos. Zane's Black is going nuts! Zane's Black was flying without him, shooting fire and freaking out. Riders were trying to calm her down, but she wasn't having it. The Black aimed for the window, but Nets caught her just in time, stopping her from shooting fire. After they contained his dragon, the Academy gathered us all in the Great Hall.
What have you to say for yourself? Where did you take her? Tell me, or I swear I'll...
Suddenly, Bennett stood up.
I've personally witnessed Zane violate the Codex on many occasions. He's making his Black disobedient. He brings it treats, lets it play. He even gave it a name.
Is this true?
Yes, I gave her a name.
The Black will be re-educated, and Zane is on probation.
They took Zane's dragon to an arena where she would practice maneuvers all day. It was harsh, but maybe it would protect her from Zane, too. Over the next few months, Marshmallow grew incredibly fast. I know I should technically call him white, but nobody could get upset about what I said in my head. Right? When he was 15 feet from snout to tail, he was ready to fly. And that's when I encountered my biggest challenge yet, staying on his back. I kept trying, falling off Marshmallow again and again. Without the use of my legs or a saddle or anything to hold on to, I couldn't keep my seat. After days of training, I was beginning to wonder if I'd made it this far, only to fail. The next morning, there was a new chair beside my bed. Was it a gift from the Academy? It had to be! It was shaped in a way that would let me use it regularly and as a saddle. It worked! Slow, faster, up! I was a dragon rider! It was the best afternoon of my entire life. On our way back, I took a quick detour to do what I came to do. Research. Down. Zane's Black was lashing out again, spewing fire and trying to attack. I noticed something else. She'd laid more eggs, and the professors were taking them.
Give them back! They belong to Leonor!
My mind was reeling. They'd told us military dragons don't care about family, but it sure looked like Zane's dragon. Lenor, he called her, cared. As I touched down, Bennett came running out. I assumed to celebrate, but instead...
You can't use that.
It's from the Academy.
It's not. I checked.
Then I don't know where it came from, but it works. I rode.
I'm sorry. It's against protocol.
That's when I realized Bennett was serious. And he told the headmaster. The headmaster had me switch chairs. I didn't want to, but I did what I was told. And when Bennett tried to take my hand, I glared daggers at him. We're done. As I left, I could sense something changing in Bennett. He betrayed me for a freaking rule book. He wasn't the guy I thought I knew, and I didn't want anything to do with him. Thankfully, all the upperclassmen had their final flying exam, so he and the professors left the academy for the night. But right when they got over the horizon, I noticed something. Zane was taking the eggs. All of them! The other first years were too scared to act, but I wasn't. This was it. This was how Zane was sabotaging the dragons. He was stealing eggs.
Leonard, release!
No! We dove as fast as we could to save the eggs, but to my shock, people were waiting to catch them. What? A hidden village with dragons and people living side by side. What is this place?
The home of the rebellion. The way we treat dragons at the academy isn't right, and it doesn't have to be that way. Shh, Leonard, we got your eggs back.
All of a sudden, everything made sense. Zane spending extra time with the eggs, his dragon going nuts, his different approach to training. He wasn't evil, but he was a rebel. Are you going to kill me to keep your secret?
Not unless you try to harm those eggs or a dragon. But I suspect you agree with us.
Part of me wanted to scream, yes, the academy is wrong! But I could hear Bennett and my professor's voices in my head. For us to stay safe, we have to follow the codex.
Leonard would still fight for me. The difference is that I would also fight for her.
We've had peace for years, and it's all because of the academy.
Why would you be loyal to the academy? They got rid of the chair I made you when it cost them nothing.
You made this chair? Then Marshmallow did something I never expected. He walked to Lenar and nuzzled against her.
You get to see your baby, Leonard.
His name is Marshmallow.
Leonard means Nightfire. I was an edgy kid, but I still like it. There's a place for you here, Tori and Marshmallow, if you want it.
I can't. The flight back gave me a lot of time to think. Maybe if the Academy knew it was an option to live side by side with dragons, they would change their ways. But when I arrived, something told me they weren't going to play nice.
When you joined this academy, you agreed to follow our codex. Tell us where the eggs are.
The Codex goes against what research teaches us about dragons.
Tori, our ways have been refined by years of hard-won lessons. Dragons are powerful, dangerous beasts. You saw what happens when they're unchecked!
Lenar did almost kill us.
Our training is how we keep Shadowvale safe. If you go against that, you go against Shadowvale.
I wanted to do the right thing. The problem was, I didn't know what that was. In the end, I told them. Bennett led the upperclassmen and professors to get the eggs back, and I was locked in a cell. As I looked out the window, I saw Bennett's red lead the dragons away. But then Marshmallow appeared at the window. Marshmallow! Marshmallow made the saddest sound I'd ever heard in my life. Almost like he was crying. Marshmallow missed his mother, and my choice meant that another entire generation of dragons was going to grow up in the same cruel way. Just then, Marshmallow broke through the wall, stones crumbling in a cloud of dust. Hovering in front of the academy, Marshmallow's fire drew out all the first years. If we were going to make a difference, we needed more allies. This is Marshmallow. He is my dragon and my friend. I've seen you all with your dragons, and I know you love them too. The academy is wrong, and we have a chance to break the cycle. Yeah, all right. Let's go, Leaf Muncher. I led the first years to the hidden village, but by the time we arrived, it was too late. Bennett had Zane in a corner.
You ruined all these dragons with your softness, Zane. Now the Academy will put them down. Red, fire!
Red sucked in a deep breath, heat building around his mouth as he prepared to fire blast. Something that powerful could kill another dragon. And Bennett. But then, I had an idea. Marshmallow, go say hi to your mama.
Get away! What are you doing?
All of the other first-year dragons followed suit, cuddling up to their family members, including their big siblings and grandparents. Dragons, you can live here side by side. We will fight for you, and you can fight for us, and we can be family. You don't have to go back to the academy. One by one, the dragons started bucking off their academy riders.
Ah! What are you doing? I'll make you regret this, Red!
Your dragon deserves a real name.
All the dragons decided to stay. I was sad to see Bennett go, but he made his choice.
You know this isn't the end of it, right? They'll come back for us.
We'll be ready for them.
Welcome to the Rebellion, Research Writer.